Welcome to days 11 and 12 of our Disney holiday. Join us today for Animal Kingdom. Now, we didn't rope drop, we had a lie-in this day, so it was a bit late by the time we got there. We did decide to use Disney Genie Plus. Now, we used the multi-park Disney Genie Plus, and this can be found in your My Disney Experience app. I believe it was $24 each for us to book it this time round. Here I am looking at my reservations that I'd made for Disney's Animal Kingdom. We had already booked the Na'vi River journey as the queue times got really quick for that, and the lightning lanes can sell out quite quickly. But as you can see, they have many different rides on here. The only ride that is not currently on there is Flight of Passage. We had a bit of time before our Na'vi River journey, so we thought we'd go and check out Pandora and see what the wait time was for Flight of Passage. But as expected, it was over 120 minutes, so we weren't waiting for that. So instead, we headed to Teylu Cantina for some early lunch. There's not many places in Animal Kingdom to sit in air conditioning, however this is one of them. You can mobile order on the app, which is what we did, and then collect your food and sit inside. You cannot sit inside without food have been ordered or ordering food. So I've had a kids meal because I'm strange and this is plenty enough for me in this heat. And I get a little chocolate milk, which I'm excited about. But Will has had the cheeseburger pods because he's an adult. Actually adulting.
I tried.
We're in Teylu Cantina.
And I've had this concoction.
Oh yes. Let's see what we got.
It's green.
It's green. Do you remember what it was called?
Nope. It was called Pandoran Sunrise NA.
Ah.
Ooh.
It was a melon Powerade or something else, wasn't it?
Some kind of pineapple thing.
Nice.
Very nice.
And your pods?
Don't want me to cut one open.
Crack on in, yeah. So I have muted this section to avoid copyright infringement, as the music in here is quite loud. But Will desperately tried to cut into these cheeseburger pods aesthetically, and it didn't quite go to plan, but he did eventually get there. Will is a big fan of the cheeseburger pods. He has had them before. This was the second time. It's not for me, but that's just because I'm a picky eater, as I've explained before. I think it's a good amount, and 2 is definitely enough. They're quite doughy and very filling. So after our early lunch, we had a bit of a walk around, and there was a surprise from some of my favourite characters from the duck family. I mean, look, I was so happy to see them. Will had not told me there was another boat coming, even though he could see one. So we walked round, and then I noticed the boat coming around the corner. The more you get to know us, the more you'll realise Will likes to not point things out that he sees. It is an ongoing battle. But there was Pocahontas, so definitely keep an eye out for these boats, especially when you're on the bridges. You usually hear music accompanying them. So whilst we were having our lunch, we hit 11:35, which was when we could book our next lightning lane. You can rebook a lightning lane after you have used one, or 2 hours from the point of your last booking. So this was our 2-hour point from booking the Na'vi River journey. You just select who's in your group and away you go. We decided to book Everest because it only had a short wait time, so we knew if we went and did that, we could then book our next lightning lane for wherever we wanted to go. So off we headed to Asia and to Everest. This is a lovely photo spot if you can get to it. There isn't usually a terribly long line at Everest, however, me and Will had been particularly unlucky this week. Animal Kingdom had been really, really busy. So this is a roller coaster. It is a little bit bumpy and definitely more of a thrill ride. Maybe not one for the young kiddos, unless they're thrill seekers. Still great fun and a great story behind it. Then we thought we'd have a walk around Dinorama because we are adults and we hadn't really had much of a reason to go in this direction other than for the dinosaur ride. But the actual area is really sweet, and especially for younger kiddos. There's lots of carnival games and a couple of meet and greets. Yeah, I was actually really impressed with the area as a whole. Then we headed back round to Pandora because it was finally time for our Na'vi River journey. Pandora is so well themed. Now, everyone talks about Star Wars Land, and do not get me wrong, Star Wars Land is also amazingly themed, but I'm so impressed with Pandora. Even in the horrific rain, we did get caught out. Luckily, you get an hour's window for your lightning lane, but we did get stuck in quite a bad storm for 20 minutes. We were quite drenched through again. But eventually, we did get back onto the Na'vi River journey. This is a slow-moving boat ride, and the visuals are stunning. After that, we went back on Kilimanjaro safaris. Now, the rain had been on and off, and the wait time wasn't terribly short, but we were able to book a lightning lane, so we got on quite quickly. Now, definitely go on this if it is raining. The animals were so much more active. A giraffe started eating the jeep. It was great. Definitely go. All the animals were out more. The only animal that wasn't out, that usually is, was the lions. So then we went to Zuri's Sweet Shop, which is a particularly great shop for my sugary loving friends. We got some slushies and we got this Mickey Mouse cookie. Now, do not make the mistake we did. Get one between the two of you. It is really quite big. It was the size of Will's head. Unfortunately, that did conclude our trip to Animal Kingdom, and we would not be returning for the rest of the holiday, so I waved goodbye on a very rainy Animal Kingdom day. We were not, however, done for the day. As I said, we had a multi-park Disney Genie ticket, so we headed to Magic Kingdom. It was unfortunately still a little bit rainy, so we decided we would do a little bit of shopping, and this sweet shop is just so beautiful. It's worth just a stare at as you're walking into the park. We decided to go and do Enchanted Tales with Belle. As you saw, I was doing my Disney binding as Belle, so we cracked that out. Then we went to Haunted Mansion, and then we just tried to get as many rides done as possible before we headed back for the evening. So day 12, we actually went back to Magic Kingdom. This would be our last day in the most magical park. We started it off by getting on the railway.
It stops along the way in Frontierland and Fantasyland. Sit tight and keep your hands, arms, feet and legs well inside the train.
We do love the train and the little surprises that you get along the way. I will not ruin them, but do not think that this is just a way of getting around the park. It is also a ride in of itself, and a lot of fun when you're on it. So today was to take off the things we hadn't been able to do, and we started off strong with the Tiki Room. Will is a huge fan of the Tiki Room, so we could not miss it. I am, however, a little off-put by the teeth. We then got ourselves some of the famous spring rolls. We were quite lucky. There was only one ham and cheese and one cheeseburger left, so we got one of each. This is the cheeseburger. Let's hope it's not too hot for Will, so it'll be awkward.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, it's fantastic in every way.
Because
Imagine a cheeseburger smushed up with lots of cheese on and then put inside a spring roll.
okay.
Nom it. She's unsure.
Yes. Might have to have another bite.
You can have another bite. Is that your definitive answer? Yes.
No, they're brilliant. The first bite, I got a lot more pastry.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is. So, I didn't taste as much cheese and ham. But then, the second bite, oh my gosh. perfect. It's not massively cheesy.
I see.
It's more the ham you get.
It's more hammy.
But that's good for me. So let's see. You look like you got a lot more cheese than I did. A lot plainer than the cheeseburger, I assume. Yeah.
You really get the ham and the chicken, yeah.
Mustard's quite nice.
Mustard's very nice.
By this point it was quite warm, so we decided we would go and get a drink at Columbia Harbour House. We got the Happy Haunts milkshake. I was not keen on this, I'm afraid. I really wanted to like it, but it wasn't for me. The donut was very cake-like and the blueberry was quite tart, I felt. We did drink it, it wasn't horrible, and if you're a Haunted Mansion fan then obviously you're gonna get one. So we decided to carry on our resort hopping escapades and we headed to the Grand Floridian. We got on the correct boat this time, so be happy for us on that account. And it was quite a nice little journey across the water, didn't take too long, so if it's not busy, give it a try. The Grand Floridian is another DVC resort and this is one of the restaurants that are on site. It looks straight out over Magic Kingdom, so it is quite special, and it has a little marina, which I thought was really sweet. A lot of it is under construction at the minute as they are renovating and expanding. After a little drink and a shop, we came back to Magic Kingdom and were greeted with the Festival of Fantasy parade. So after watching this, we decided to go grab some food at Casey's Corner. This has very limited seating, so do beware. There's only a couple of tables inside and a few tables outside. The queues were just way too long still, so we made the best decision of the entire trip and decided to go to Animal Kingdom Lodge. This is my favourite resort that I've seen, and I've seen most of them. I would give so much to be able to stay here. The theming is immaculate. It's got all my favourite things. It's got animals, it's got theming, it's got Disney. Who wants anything else? Honestly, it is absolutely incredible. I can't even imagine looking out my hotel room and seeing giraffes walking about. The actual facilities were amazing, and it's not tricky to see how this is one of the top tier resorts. It really is something special. The pool area was also really lovely. We checked that out and they just had baby flamingos, so we were stood here for a good half an hour, and this wasn't even our resort, so if you are lucky enough to stay here, then please send some of that magic my way, because you are a very lucky person. So after making the very definitive decision that if we ever won the lottery we would stay at Animal Kingdom, we headed back to the park, watched the fireworks again, and said goodbye to Magic Kingdom for this trip. And I could shed a tear thinking about it, but we will be back for you. We will be back. And that concludes days 11 and 12. I can't believe we're nearing the end of the Disney holiday already. I am desperate to go back. You all know that the Disney bug is real and you just can't get it out of your head. So fingers crossed soon, and one day I'll get to go to the Animal Kingdom Lodge. If you've been, please tell me all about it. I'd love to hear about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Love.